Hello, my name is Bud. I'm developing this lesson to help you understand a little bit about copy and paste versus mirror when using the software for your carving machine. First off, let's look at what a person has a problem with. Jim is trying to lay out more than one electrical switch plate on a project board. And I'm just showing you a sample of something that could be done, starting with Jim's project. Now what I'm talking about is concepts, not absolutes. This is Jim's project as he has it laid out. And he wants to be able to put a series of these plates across the board or on the board somehow. It's going to depend on the board itself, which way you do it. Let's look at his board and see what he has. See if I can get this up here a little bit. Let's look at the board settings. His board is 16 inches long and 10 inches wide or high, and it's 1/4 of an inch thick. I presume he's going to be on a sled, but that's what he's got. It's a 16-inch board by a 10-inch board. You work with the wood that you have. It's one way to do it, so we'll do his, and I'll talk about how we can put them down the board or around the board. First off, what I want to do though is I want to clean up some of these things just to make it easier for me to talk. I'm going to highlight all of these groupings here because I don't think I need them at this point. I've looked at it before, and I'm just going to delete them. Okay, it's not going to let me delete that one that way. Okay, let's see if I can do it this way. Okay. Okay, I have one group here that I'm dealing with. Now what I have to do is I have to look at everything. And this is locked 1 2/10 inches from the center line. He has a lot of things locked in here, and I've got to unlock them, figure out on the rosettes whether they're mirrored or what they are, and that kind of thing, and just do a lot of cleanup. So here what I want to do is I want to remove the attachment. I know it's 1 2/10 inches, and I want to remember that, okay? See, it's there. And this one's not attached anymore. Okay, the rosettes are not attached. They're 0.56 or 5/86 from the center line. One of the two is the original. These are mirrored. And what I'm going to do is see. Okay. So I know that. And I think one of these is a mirror. Let's see. Now if I come up here to edit and undo it, I can tell real quick here. If I get rid of this one, it got rid of both of them. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I want to keep the one. Well, in fact, I don't need to keep either one of them. And I know that the diameter of this is 185. Okay. But I'm just looking at this whole thing and seeing what I have and what I want to do with it. If I was going to put them down the board, I have to decide how I'm going to do it, because a lot of things will move on me, is what I've found. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through now and just look at the layout and look at the center and see where they're locked and just unlock them. Layout, center. This is locked both ways. Center, and lock both ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use more of this board. I don't think that's centered or locked or anything. Okay. I think now I'm okay. Now what I want to do is I want to copy this rosette, and then I want to paste it, and it puts it pretty close to where it was. That's one of the characteristics of this. And I want to come and get this pointer to turn into multiple arrows going each direction. And I've got it about where I want it. So now what I want to do is I want to lay out, and I want to flip it, rotate it 180 degrees. And that puts it there where I want it. Now if I really want to get it, that's 5/6 or 6/5, and this is 5/8/6. So I can take this and I can actually make this 0.586 if I have to be precise in that respect. And I have that one laid out. Now what I can do is I'm going to move these so that they're similar so we can see what we got going on. If I take the drill holes, I want to hold down my control key, click here and click here. Now they're both lit, and I may have something that's still locked on the drill holes. I'll be back. Yeah, I've got it locked to the center, so I can unlock it. Okay, now that it's unlocked, I can come over here, hold control down, click here, and I can move both of those. I'm going to just edit and undo that. Now if I click on everything, now I come over here and I want to get where I've got that pointer turned into 4 points, and move this thing right down to here, and I've got it there. So now what I can do is I can, those are groups, okay, so I'm going to click, hold down the control and click each one of these. Now I'll come up to copy, clear, paste, and I've got a second one. And they're here. Okay, so now what I want to do is see what happens here. I've got to get that there. And I'm just going to move this right over here like that. And it's not quite the same height. And there I have 2. Okay, I can do another paste. Find that same point, and I can put one there. And just see what happens here. I'm going to try something. Okay, while I'm right here, I'm going to click on these, and I want to come up to layout, and I want to group. So that way I know I've got the groups in that respect. Now if I click on the group, all it does is give me a few outlines, and it doesn't do what I want. But if I come here, and I've got them all highlighted. So now what I want to do is I want to come to layout, and I cannot do a mirror. So layout's not going to help me. Come to copy, clear everything, come to paste, and I've got them, and let's see what happens here. There I have them. I have some holes that are out of place on each one of them. You see that. And I know it's supposed to be 1.2. So I would have to come in here and do 1.2 and lock it down. And then get it centered. Everything else looks pretty good. Same thing here. 1.2. And so on. Center it. So that's one thing that can be done. But I can even get 5 out of this thing if I work at it. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back to basic plan. So now what I want to do is I'm going to put one in each one of these corners on this particular piece of wood. First, I'm going to highlight the entire switch box cover and see that it's 2.250 by 4.650. Now what I'm going to do is click on a rectangle and put a rectangle in here. And I'm going to control the size. Well, wait a minute. Before I do that, there's something else I want to do. I want to work with grid lines. So I'm going to click on View, and I'm going to go to Grid Lines. And I want to change these. Right now they're set at 1/2 inch. So how do I change those grid lines? Let's go to Layout, go to Snap, and right now the snap interval is 1/2 inch. That's grid lines, okay? Now remember that those holes were 1.2 inches away from the center line, going up and down. So I want to make this 1.2. And I want to view the grid. I'm not worried about snap at this point. But now I have grid lines at 1.2. Okay, here's the center line of the board going lengthwise. Here's the center line of the board going up and down. Okay, so now what I want to do is draw my rectangle. And I want it 4.65. And I want it 2.25. And I want to do a cut. And 3 tabs may not be enough. I want to go to 4. Okay. So there's that. Now let's flip the board over. Okay, I've got that. Alright. This is just my way of doing it, okay? So now what I want to do is these holes are .2. So it's grid to grid. So what I want to do is I want to kind of move this thing so I at least get it so the yellows are fairly close on the grid going up and down. And then I could have done a snap to grid and it would put it possibly where I wanted it, but I'm just working at it by eyeball here to see what is going on. Okay, I'm within the grid. So this line and this line should be dead center. Okay? So that means from here to here is 1.2 inches. So now I can drill a hole right here. and I want it 0.185, and I want one here. So I'm going to click on the drill again, put one here, 0.185, and they're going through the board. Okay, rear, front. Okay. So now I've got this thing, and it's 0.415 by 955. Okay. So I want to put it right here. And this is going to be a little harder. Okay. Oops. Which one is this? And I can use, it's pretty good there. Okay. So this is 0.955. Let's see what we got. Can't tell. And this is 0.415. Okay. Oops, it moved on me. Move it up. Okay. I've got to have the 4 points if I can get them. There. Okay, see this line goes thinner? That should mean it's dead center on that. I don't know if I get the same thing on this other one or not. No, just the one way. Okay. I'll take a chance on it. Oh, it changed here again. I want this 0.955. Okay, let's see what I got here. Where is that rectangle? Some reason 0.955. Oh, I see. I've got something in yellow here that I've got to take care of. Okay, I just kept doing undos until I got back to where it was a little different. Okay, I'm going to click on the rectangle. That's the one I want. Okay. The depth is a 1/4 inch. I'm going to go to region. That's what I want to do, is go to region. That makes the depth a 1/4 inch. And now let's see what I can do over here. 0.955. Still not letting me do it. What is going on here? Be right back. Okay, let's start over again with this. Here's a rectangle. See what we can do. I'm going to make it larger than I need it. And I'm going to try to center it before I do anything else. Okay, I've got it there. So now I'm going to do a region. It's a 1/4 inch. Now let's see if I can change these. This was 0.955. And this was 0.415. And it moved on me. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's take this and copy it. Come over here and paste it. Put there, so I'm just going to move it over to here. And before I get too far along, this thing looks like maybe I need to flip the cut. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to lay this thing out and flip it vertically and place it where I want it. Eyeball. Oop. Alright, close enough for government work. Now let's see if I can paste another one. And it goes over here. And it needs to be flipped horizontally, I think. There. Just eyeball it in a little bit. Alright, good enough for government work. Now I've got that one laid out pretty much the way I want it. So just to make it easier, I'm going to turn off the grid lines. Okay. So now what I have is this is part of this. This is part of this. And let's see, in the rear and in the front. A little bigger, huh? Okay. So this rectangle. Okay, I'm just going to put it down here. That's what's got me confused. Okay, and I've got a drill 1 and drill 2. That doesn't make any difference. These were all the same because they were a mirror, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this, 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 this. And I'm going to group that. So layout and group. Okay, so I have this group and I have this group. Okay, while they're highlighted, I want to see if I can do something here. I want to come up to mirror, and I want to mirror all. And they're all mirrored. Problem is that it didn't cut the outside line. Okay, no big deal. I'm going to hold control, click on this line, see, just to make sure. Okay, and that line. And let's see what I do a cut. 4 tabs. Looks like these are smaller, doesn't it? Okay, so again, highlight, 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 and flip cut. And there, I have 5 on that same piece of board. So I can go down the board, or I can go around the board. And I hope this will help with a little bit of understanding of what happens when you use copy and paste, or when you use mirror, and what you have to do to lock and unlock things to get them where they are. I hope you enjoyed the lesson.